You thirded it. You got to get with the program here.
Doesn't carry as much weight, does it?
I don't know. I mean, being third isn't so bad either, I guess. All right, at least we,
Yeah.
okay, so since Ellison is going to show up around 1:15, she sent us an email indicating that she's going to be late, which is fine because she has to drop her kiddo off at the sailing class or something. So the first thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the last meeting. And this agenda should say not 5-7 meeting, it was 7-9 meeting. That's a typo. So has everybody had a chance to look them over? Does anybody have any inputs on it?
I don't think so. I reviewed them, but it seemed fine to me.
Well, because if not, I'm just make a motion, we accept the minutes from the last meeting. Second the motion. Want to second the motion, Sam?
I would like to second the motion.
Okay, you got it. Good. Okay. And David isn't here. It's tough in the summers, but whatever. You know, I really want to make sure Ellison is here for this EAB discussion.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, I don't mind putting it up.
Yeah, let's wait.
So can we skip to the next agenda item, which is CC members' term status? That,
Oh, good. Cynthia, did you sign back up? Because you were on a 1 month thing. You were on a 1 year thing.
Did I sign?
Your original membership was to fill a 1
Yeah.
year
Oh.
slot. Did you up that?
you,
I didn't know I'm supposed to do something.
Rebecca, you and I, all
Okay.
terms all ended in June.
Because
Okay.
because your term was you were filling a 1 year
Yeah.
term.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you kind of come in.
No, I mean, is this something that we talked about? I don't remember.
Well,
talking
there was
about
an
it. I
email
just
about-
saw on the agenda that my
That-
status was up for discussion, and that's all I know
Well,
about it.
but to make it official, assuming you want to continue, and we'd like
We
you to
would
do
like
that.
to.
I
We
haven't
need you.
done anything yet, so.
It's okay, you don't,
So, yeah, I gotta stay long enough to do something.
well, you need to fill out an application.
Okay, so I stop over
It's a
there.
rubber stamp thing.
I think you can just tell Janice. If you tell her in person, she'll use.
I think you need to like, you actually need to fill this out, right?
But at the first time, she said the second time she can.
All right,
like that.
so,
Well, it's
You,
not-
you
no
walk
big
through there
deal
on your
to
way out?
step over there and sign.
Yeah,
all right,
on your way out.
you good with that?
Mhm.
And then the other Rebecca, who's not here,
I think she did last time.
all right,
I'll check.
I already did it, so,
And I also, since we're short a member, I propose that BD become official. BD?
What?
I propose you become an official member.
if you
I
want
mean,
to.
all it means is you vote. All it means is that you vote. You're already participating. You don't have to do anything else.
Do you want to, or you feel, I mean,
It's there.
If I'm never asked to do minutes, that would be,
We could probably work something
I
out.
mean, I'm gonna try to come every time I can, anyway. I mean, do you need somebody to
Would be
fill the
nice.
slot?
we got a,
So, I have a,
We're
I
at
have a-
6. We'd like 7, but I mean, unless we have anyone has any good
well,
ideas.
we got,
Beatty, I know Beatty would probably end up saying yes, just to be, a good public
Right.
servant.
Right.
Um,
Getting
But
somebody,
she's feeling kind of like
You-
less
Overwhelmed. I know.
energy than
It was
she's
just an
got.
idea.
But, and I'm
I
just, I'm
appreciate
talking.
Yeah.
okay? I feel like we've kind of structured this with our meetings when they are to just kind of roll out, basically people of reproductive age. I mean, we've got Sam, but it's, and that's a blessing. But
that's an interesting way to look
the
at it.
people that have like 9-to-5 jobs, which are still plenty of them out there. I've been racking my brain for a candidate, you know what I mean? And I just can't find somebody. who-
Well, I have an idea, and we can always change the meeting time because we didn't set it. It was just always this time.
Okay.
But the other thing, sorry, this is my doctor calling. But the other thing is, some people who have kids in school could come inside if they don't have a job.
But to
And
go,
like, do we want, and so I think that's an item for discussion. Do we feel like young, like more youthful energy would be a constructive thing to
Hey,
Kathy,
energy's always,
I talked to Molly Harash,
Yeah.
and she's interested.
okay, so
Who's
you're,
that? Oh, the one that helped you with the,
The
yeah,
tree.
I
brush.
copied
Oh,
her
the
on
big
the, I always copy her on the agenda.
Yeah, yeah.
So to, just not to interrupt you, but,
no,
so did you fill out an application, right?
I did, and I put it in the town office.
All right, so we're going to assume you're part of the commission.
Okay,
I don't know what the select board voting and all that other stuff is. but-
okay,
So,
great.
so Samantha Mortlock is no longer, right?
Right.
Steve resigned the last, well, couple of meetings ago, whatever. So that leaves one opening, right? We have you, Kathleen, Barb, myself, Sam, right? And we have one more, Rebecca, and that leaves one more opening. So to your point about a youthful,
yeah, she's saying.
I think
Molly, I
Molly
think that's
would be.
perfect.
in BD,
Just be,
yeah, you contribute a lot.
I know, but it's great to have BD as just at least a volunteer.
But you could
Our
become,
spiritual leader.
Yeah.
you
You're
can
the
be our,
mascot.
Trees person.
you're like our, like an amazing resource for us as it is, right?
I'm the past.
No,
No,
not
you're not.
really.
What you need.
You're the archive.
You're the member emeritus,
Yes, that's
okay?
good.
So that,
Well, I was once on.
so I rest my case. So,
It's, I just texted her today. She said, she didn't say no. She said she would definitely think about it.
she didn't
she was-
say, did you ask her or she?
I just said that they were looking for one other person and you'd be great.
Molly?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
She would be
She's great. She has a lot of energy.
We'd love to have Molly.
yeah.
So,
Great.
Molly's awesome.
so it sounds like you're going to take care of your application.
Yes.
Rebecca's already done it. I've already done it. Yours is in process. And you're going to talk to Molly?
I might even know this afternoon after the meeting, maybe.
And she, how would we all, I mean, I just trying to make this official, we all would be delighted to have Molly on the,
Yeah, I make a motion that Kathleen be authorized to formally ask Molly,
Yes,
and
okay.
with the understanding that if she is interested, we're all interested in having her.
Okay.
second
Great,
motion. Oh, Sam,
If
you
it
want to second
works.
that one?
I second that one.
I'm a little
I love
sensitive.
Molly.
I'm a little sensitive about that with you.
I know.
Wait, what's her?
Her reach-
Harish.
How do you, it's
Oh.
HARISH, is it? Do you know?
Harish?
Harish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have a quick question before we move on to, I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You just did, Sam.
I know. I feel sort of like this, like overlordy.
Yeah, I know. It's like the
no,
Wizard of Oz or something.
I know. It's like it's weird, but it's also like a little powerful. No, but what I wanted to ask was, or just posit, is that maybe just put down for the record that at some point it might be worth exploring a different meeting time. It is just from like a full-time job, full-time parenting perspective, it is difficult. It's always difficult. I mean, anyone who's done that knows it's difficult, but it can be challenging to get here in the middle of the day. It's been okay so far, and I'm lucky that I have, for example, flexible, lenient, reasonable supervisors. But it's just challenging because it's in the middle of the workday. If there's ever a chance or a shot or an opening where we can naturally discuss changing that or altering to a different time, I'd be interested in that. But I also know I'm one person, so.
So what is your advice about what time slots would be more practical for people that like resemble your stage of existence?
What I would love is to just create a new hour in the day. I don't know how we do that.
13 o'clock.
13 o'clock, yeah.
Or or
For me
25 o'clock.
personally, yeah, for me personally, like, I don't know, anytime between anytime in the evening hours, it's just a little bit easier. 6:30, even 6 o'clock I could do. It's just challenging to, because I have to get my daughter, I have to finish up work and make dinner and things like that. Just kind of all of the life stuff that happens after work. So like 6:30 can be a good time, but I know that that's not always great for
How is
everybody.
How is that good if you're like
know,
making
don't you
dinner and trying to eat and get your kid?
Well, I finish at 5 or 5:30, and then that gives me time to pick up my child and then set her up in whatever capacity, and then to do my own thing, which would be this, between like 6 and 7:30 or something like that.
Okay.
But again, I know that's not necessarily
I mean,
perfect for
that's-
other people.
That's useful to know because
Yeah.
when I was a parent, I was like obsessed with having dinner time. Like
Me
being
too.
something that
I wouldn't have thought
I
that.
wouldn't, and I was very puzzled when
I know.
people seem to be scheduling things during dinner time. It's like, what are they thinking?
Yeah.
But do you just eat later? Is that what you do? And
Yeah, or like I'll have something prepared ahead of time and it just needs to be stuck into the microwave or something like that. Anytime after 5, I could make work. I can get her earlier or something like that. And typically like that routine is pretty stuck for us. But if this is once a month,
yeah,
it's not like it's once a week or twice a
Right.
week.
Yeah,
It's
right.
once a month. So once a month, we disrupt the routine to do something that's meaningful.
okay,
End of. Yeah. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and because you don't want to do it later if you're somebody who has to put kids to bed, right?
Yeah, right. When she goes to bed 8:30. So, like I said, anytime between 5 and 8, I could probably do that. I might be like, is it possible to do an hour and a half instead of 2 hours? But I can also just flex my schedule. There's flexibility there is what I'm saying. But we don't have to talk about that now. We don't have to make any decisions. I'm just saying.
Right. No, I was just trying to get an idea of what
Yeah.
you might like time-wise things for somebody who's not a retiree. Because I'm
Yeah.
fading
Yeah.
into the distant past.
Yeah.
Chapter of your
Yeah.
life.
That's my contribution to that
Thanks.
question, I
Yeah,
guess.
take it under advisement, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So Kathleen's going to talk to Molly. Pending that discussion, we could have a full commission again, right? I don't, and then Janice, we need to talk to her about, we'll wait till you talk to Molly.
Okay.
And then you want to just email and let us know what
Sure.
how it goes?
Right. I'll do that.
Good. All right. Anything else on that? Is everybody good with what we need to do to keep a 7-member committee? I think the thing with this meeting too is, I feel like I personally kind of lost my stride a little bit because there's been a lot going on. It's the summer and this and that, but a lot goes on other than this meeting every month, right? We got a lot of stuff going on. Like we had the Arbor Day thing. We've been doing, tree stuff and this and that and whatnot. So I think it's important we recognize that our volunteerism is a lot more than just this meeting, right? Because this meeting's important, but this meeting is where we make decisions and set a compass heading, but it's not where the work gets done. If it's where the work gets done, we're not going to get much done because it's only a couple hours a month, right? And all of us have other commitments, volunteering things or family things and this and that and whatnot. So it's hard to just keep things in lockstep, but moving forward, we're going to get into this Emerald Ash Borer program. And that's going to be a really important. And I feel kind of like we're waiting for Allison to arrive, which is understandable, but maybe we should start our Emerald Ash Borer discussion.
I have a-
I
Go ahead.
was gonna say, I agree if there's something else on the agenda that people want to talk about, because we can always just review with her.
So,
I do have a question about that, actually. Sorry, before we move on, if that's
Yeah.
okay, that's not related to Emerald Ash. Yeah, so I'm curious if in the meeting last month, I saw that Rebecca suggested having some tree planting or a
Yes.
tree planting in
Yep.
September. Was there a date discussed, or was it sort of, No?
She just threw it out there. And the other thing that Dave had suggested, I meant to do a action item list, but I'm sorry, I didn't get to it. The other thing that was suggested by Dave was that someone on the commission or people on the commission maybe find somebody who can talk to us about trimming some of the trees that were planted in the last couple of years so that they grow properly. What's the word he used?
Pruning?
Not just pruning, but he used a different word, but whatever. Basically pruning, yes. Like so that they have the right shape and don't grow into buildings and stuff like that. Do you remember?
okay.
If you do talk about pruning, there's one thing coming along, which is big storms and very big old trees. People are quite frightened of them coming down. I don't know, is this on?
Yeah.
And I think it keeps them from asking for trees, and then they tend to ask for very small trees, which don't cast a lot of shade.
Right.
But what they do in Europe, and have done for years, partly because they use the wood for burning, but also because in cities you don't want giant trees that are going to come down on you. So they have pruning programs that keep the very big stuff down as the tree grows. I can't imagine Americans doing that, but we ought to be thinking about it.
I mean, so on town property, or you think on people's private property?
Well, I think private property, people can take care of themselves,
Yeah,
but the
you think so?
public part,
I think
Is-
we already have that though, don't we?
no, what the tree people do is an owner says, I'm afraid of my tree, could you take it down? And then if the town thinks, if they call in somebody, say, does this make sense? And the town pays for taking it down. There is occasional cabling, but that the town does not consider, it's just too expensive, and I don't think they could get the money.
I'm just saying, it's the former tree warden would just take it down, but the current tree warden, AKA Dave,
Right.
doesn't.
So
doesn't
do
usually
we
allow
know-
that.
Do we know that real maintenance?
Well, but I agree.
It's
I
happening.
think there may be a hole in the process that we should have. You would think it'd be someone on the town staff or something that would oversee
Well, it's
pruning
really,
of town trees.
it's
I mean, we
re-
do have, there is someone at the Public Works who does some tree work. He has a background in some,
Yeah.
used to work for an arborist.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's officially a licensed arborist or anything like that. So maybe we can recommend that to Dave, that there be a specific town pruning policy for those kinds
Well,
of
just-
things. Because you're right, if trees are pruned early, and Dave was right too, if they're pruned on a more regular basis, they're less likely to get these crazy branches that reach out and that can cause problems and people worry about them. But
And where did you get information on this?
well, this is the question. I don't think it's practiced in the States, and I don't know how you would learn about towns that do it, but putting a question out,
Do you think it's done routinely in Europe?
oh, yes.
So-
Definitely.
So where did you?
Well, for instance, I used to live in Antwerp, and there was a park with big trees, but they never got to the point where they were old, and it's like they were always kept. Well, for instance, the avenues in France and other Northern European, I don't know South so much. You want the shade on the people, but you don't want great height. So it was really an ongoing thing. It's quite revolutionary for this country to even
There
think
are
of
a
it.
lot of places in the United States that do their own, they have their own tree pruning program. I mean, like Brunswick, Maine has a
Yeah,
I know in Boston, Cambridge and stuff, they have a regular pruning of town trees. I mean,
Yeah.
So these are trees in the right of way,
the right of way, yeah.
right?
The ones
So
Yes.
they could be on
So
shared property and right of way, right?
yeah,
it's part of
you
this
could
tree city
suggest to
program.
other people that they think about it, but that's their.
And I
it's
think
their-
what Dave was talking though about was specifically the trees that were just planted,
Well,
right?
Also,
The new trees that have been planted in the last 3 years,
he
right?
was talking about that, but
Right.
also part of the Tree City USA policy, which we're part of, where each town has to spend a specific amount of money on trees, but it's also tree care.
Right.
Right.
So that's like watering things, but it can also be incorporated into tree pruning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
you're
use
right, there
part of
are,
that policy,
yeah.
part of that process.
And there are towns that are, good about that.
And so you've kind of taken over the Tree City process, right?
Yes.
When you have a minute, could you look into that?
Sure.
And see what they have, if they have any other towns that are
Right.
use their Tree City, what they call it?
The resources.
City,
or-
yeah, use
Yeah.
for pruning purposes.
Right,
And maybe
okay.
we have a model.
Okay.
I just dropped a link to a tree pruning page that the Arbor Day Foundation has. So that might be, I don't know, that might be helpful. For example, it's like, oh, don't prune in the fall, which I was about to suggest, oh, maybe we could do it in September, but let's not do that.
To us, because we're not on Zoom.
Yeah,
Did you say you dropped?
Yeah, I
it
can do-
into the chat?
I dropped it in the chat, yeah, but I'll email.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Actually,
Yeah.
some trees want to be done in the winter. Like
Yeah.
the dogwood.
Yes,
a
it's
tree.
winter and summer.
Maybe we should have a tree plan, like a larger plan that includes brown ash, the Arbor Day stuff, educational programs.
Yeah.
And then, especially if we have to do this brown ash plan anyway, but so that we have like a larger view of what we want to do.
Yeah.
And then also invite people that might not want to be on the commission, but have an expertise, or like for the educational part, like
Mhm.
invite people from school programs, or, get other people to come when we start focusing on different areas. Even the brown ash thing, we could get
So
more
that just,
people involved.
just to be specific, the emerald ash borer thing is brown, green, white ash.
Right, all ash.
All
right,
ash.
Right, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
But the idea of pesticides killing trees is going to be probably a reoccurring theme for tree stuff
Right.
anyway.
But there's lots of things about trees, and having a comprehensive tree plan. Certainly
Right.
comprehensive
So that we have also like a sort of a guideline of what we're going to focus
Just-
on.
yeah,
I mean, and that seems like a conservation committee thing to do, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
sort of a policy thing too,
Right.
that Camden has a plan for the trees that are also planted and taken care of, and
it's like a comprehensive plan for Camden's trees,
right, yeah,
right? And it would include,
like you
Well-
have for zoning and all those
yeah,
things.
right.
Right, probably the select board would have to formally approve that. if you-
Right, or I wonder if we did the work and then
Yeah.
we could present it,
Oh,
or
for sure,
Allison
you'd have
could
to
do it.
work.
Because even with
But-
the brown ash task force, not brown ash task force, Jan said that we had a plan already intact for it.
Oh, I think they were talking about Louisa's study.
Oh, they.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't think we had a plan for
No, we
for
don't,
it.
she was referring to
Well,
Louisa's
I think she's
study.
referring to the fact that the earlier Conservation Commission did get a policy into the town where funds for people who are fined for pruning trees or cutting down trees and right away, or things like on Lake Beach where the people cut down the trees.
Right.
that goes into a special fund
Right,
that goes towards tree maintenance and repair, which basically will
Right.
help us with treating our ash trees,
right,
the ones in the public way.
right. That's what she was referring
So I think
to.
she's referring to that.
Okay, but we
So
don't
that was,
actually,
we didn't, there was a conservation commission before us, and then there was none for a couple of years, and then we started.
okay,
And it was the former one who got that done.
okay.
Oh, I thought she was
So,
talking
so
about-
we don't actually have a plan for the ash thing
Um,
yet.
Well.
We have that program.
That's the money that, no offense, but that's the money that was, someone suggested using for the
Right.
solar panel things.
Oh,
And
right.
a few of us said, don't take that money, because we're gonna need it real soon. And they didn't, and whatever, that's beside the point now, but that money is there for us to be able to treat trees.
Yes, okay. I don't mean to get
That
off
wasn't-
topic there,
That
but
wasn't established prior to,
That was established years ago.
well, Allison said that there was no thing.
Well,
on
that was the idea behind it, the plan was for that,
The-
but apparently there was
When you were-
holes in it, there's whatever.
But
the-
you weren't on
but-
the Conservation Commission.
But the monies that were collected as fines for,
That's
know,
what she's talking about.
yeah, fines the town levied against people who did like
right,
pesticide, blah, 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 herbicide, whatever. That those monies went into a fund that were, the idea was to use those for tree maintenance,
right.
emerald ash borer program. We're gonna have beach leaf
Right.
disease. There's all
So
kinds of
that's what
stuff.
I wanted to talk about next.
Yeah,
What's that?
oh,
Beach leaf.
well,
But
before
what we're
we
gonna
go
do
to
is-
that, but the idea is that that could be one part of the plan for,
So we need what we need, the emerald ash borer preparedness plan is gonna be part of a comprehensive plan.
right,
The street tree planting program that we already have, that's part of this, of the comprehensive program. We got the elements, Arbor Day celebration, Arbor Day, that's part of so we have elements of a comprehensive
Right.
program, but it isn't all tied together in one big comprehensive program.
right.
So
Right.
Kathleen is proposing that we embark on an effort to create a Camden tree plan. And so do you want a motion?
Well,
Well, we should
But you
discuss
clarify,
it.
I'm still not, I mean, we don't have one already, we already have one.
We have,
Comprehensive tree plan?
that would include the elements of the ash program.
Oh,
It would be the street tree program. And then we could call it Arbor Day, but we could have public education program, which I think you could have. The poetry festival, we're going to
Yeah.
need some brochures about the ash.
there's also the
there's-
heritage tree
Right,
stuff.
like have an education program or like a element of that in there too. So there might be three parts to it.
I think we need to create though, like a wiring diagram that says like,
Yeah,
this is our comprehensive tree plan, town tree plan. And these are the different elements of it.
yes,
Some of these we're already doing. I mean, I think we're going to surprise ourselves and learn we're already doing a lot. It just isn't under the umbrella of a comprehensive town tree plan, right?
right.
And I hear Kathleen also suggesting that this would be a good way to generate local civic awareness
Right.
of and perhaps participation. in-
Right, or having more volunteers, like if somebody wanted to help out with the education part,
Yeah,
like
Right.
the high school students,
right.
or,
Right.
so that there was like a roadmap. for
Right,
what we
exactly.
do.
A roadmap's probably a better term than a wiring diagram.
Right.
It's my
It's just an idea,
engineering
because
brain that,
I think also for new members, it's almost like subcommittees in a way of like a larger commission has these three elements to it.
But this would survive any given
Yeah,
iteration of this commission.
and at that Zoom, the ASH Zoom meeting, Jan Satira mentioned that we were the only town that had this fund, which was unusual.
yeah, we
And
have to
I mean, they
verify
kind
that.
of hinted that we were like leaders in the Save the Ash Trees, which was like,
I think it's just that we at least gave it some thought to it before.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I mean,
Rather
it was
than
more
reacting.
like we are kind of definitely focusing on that, and we have that money. That's really unusual
We
in
have to,
this
we have
state.
to verify though that
Okay.
with Allison that
Right,
pot exists and it's allocated specifically for, it's
right.
not a slush fund for whatever the.
Nope.
The à la carte,
That's what I think if we had a plan, we could say this is part of our plan.
Yeah.
And, it would give it a little structure.
yeah, it's a
of
good
sorts.
idea.
Uh,
So.
I don't mean to sound bureaucratic about it. It's just
You're not
like, it
bureaucratic.
gives like a framework
it's
for
it's-
what we do.
No, it's big thinking. You're
Yeah,
good at
it's organizing, it's a big picture, right?
What do you think, Petey? You're our
I
sage.
think it's great because then, as the commission goes on, it has that to refer to. It's harder to go back on something
Yeah.
that is laid out that way. So it's communicating with the future.
Right.
So how do we make this happen?
Well, Sam, you're really, you're really good at this as well, kind of getting concepts and especially digitally doing it so it looks like a plan. You have those little lines go down and
We need to we need to provide some sound bites though of like,
yeah, no, definitely. But are you interested in this at all or no?
I can help maybe build,
A template?
I mean, I know, maybe maybe something like a tree portfolio. Like, this is the portfolio of projects that we have dedicated to tree health, tree maintenance, that type of thing. Is that kind of what you're thinking of?
A little
I
bit,
mean-
but also like steps that we're
Yeah,
involved with.
If you wanna meet at some point, we could talk about it. And I actually don't think, Brian, I think that you're talking about like a wireframe.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Have a visual that like outlines what we're
Exactly.
talking about and what each program or
so. and
Initiative
There's gonna be
consists of.
blanks that we don't have anything, but they should be in there. And there's gonna be
Mhm.
things we're already doing, right?
Right, yes.
So,
Would you like to do an outline of basic things you would like to see in this, and then we can work from there?
Sure.
hi, Allison.
Are you on the phone?
Or definitely, just like, well, you mentioned the three things. So Brian, we can start from there.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna put together, a real rough, just some sound bites. These are things I can think of that we're doing that would be part of a town tree plan, right? And I'll send it to you
Okay.
and we'll try to work something up.
Are you sure you don't want it to go the other way around? Because she could draft it and then you look at it and see if it seems reasonable.
I don't care.
Sure.
I'm
You know
just,
what I mean?
No,
thinking-
because I'm not that good at like,
Like
the
you-
computer
You
part.
two keep bouncing it off there, each other.
You're only worried about the technology part.
A little bit. I
Lynn,
mean,
I don't mind
just throw
doing
down
it.
your
It's
ideas in
easy.
email. This is the
Okay.
kind of things you'd like to send to Brian. Brian
Okay.
will say, elaborate, and then he can send it out.
Yeah, just
And then we can
email.
okay, we'll
Sam
get it
make-
started.
Sam can
and
make it
then-
look pretty.
well, yeah, I want to put
Yeah, I can
down,
help.
Sam
I
can
can
make it
help
look,
too.
Okay,
make it look.
I want to put down what
I can
we
make it look
already
good.
know we're doing, plus what we
Background
think
looks
we
very
should be
good.
doing,
right,
right?
okay, and
You
we
look
can
so
send it out to
Very
everybody.
professional.
So
Yes.
it's a draft. It'll totally be a draft that everybody has input.
Yep. And as part of that is going to be the Emerald Ash Borer Preparedness Program,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that's one of the top three.
And then voila, Allison shows up in perfect
so-
timing.
But I did have one more thing.
Sure. Just
Well,
one more?
I don't know
or-
where this, you
No,
can tell
I
me,
don't
we'll
care.
talk about this later, but I
Yes.
just,
The beach.
I've been really aware in the last year and a half of this beech leaf disease, which is a rapidly spreading thing that's fatal, and it's going to be comprehensive over the whole state. What I didn't know is that there are things that you can do to protect an individual tree, like on your property, same as with the emerald ash borer. So I'm just wondering if we would, we probably do not want to undertake a town-wide effort in the same way that we are with EAB, but at least fitting in some advice to people about signs of beech leaf disease and what you can do to inoculate it, or who you can call to find out.
Well,
There is something on the state website, Forestry Service, about it.
I think the level of understanding and awareness of that are still in the early stages.
Yeah, only it's spreading much faster than EAB is.
Oh, yeah, well,
And so,
it's a terrible problem. But the other one that we haven't even mentioned is the hemlock woolly adelgid, which is another disaster waiting to happen.
right, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
kind of
all
creeping
the-
down the road. This is
I don't
something
know,
that happens
there's
in
a
1
bunch
year.
of trees in town that have had it.
So,
Yeah,
but you
some of
walk
them
through the
have-
forest, they're all dead, okay? The only ones that are surviving it is the copper beech.
Right.
And that seems to be.
I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I'm just trying to say there's a bunch
I'm
of
saying, like,
stuff.
there's an urgent need for people to know about it, if they can do something.
Rebecca did send something out to us about a few months ago about a new treatment plan for the beech leaf disease.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
see that.
I'll have to dig that up, but there is a good.
Yeah, I didn't see
It's
that.
a
I mean,
good-
I'm sure she sent it and I didn't look at it,
yeah,
as opposed to I
It's a good
didn't see it.
basic information thing,
No.
very basic on the Maine Department of Forestry and stuff, if you want to take a quick look at it. And we are right in the center of where it is.
Yep,
So,
but
Um,
all that stuff could be part of our,
right.
I
But
feel
well,
like the
maybe,
state's even behind.
Yeah.
should we catch Allison up a little bit on the whole Emerald Ash Borer thing? So,
I do think that's a good discussion because, I don't know the relative threat of one versus the other and what the town should be preparing for versus not. So I do think that's a good, just a quick FAQ for the Conservation Commission to kind of be monitoring for people, so that we can answer the question, do we need to be worried about this? Should you do something or not? Sounds like a good little thing to.
well, one thing we wanted to just we discussed before you were here. So with Emerald Ash Borer first,
Mhm.
was we had a meeting with two people from the Maine Forestry Service, and they have kind of a outline of what towns can do. And the first thing is that on September 20th, there is going to be a presentation they're putting on in Belfast, the Belfast Boat Club. Limited number of people, but you might, if you're available, it's like 9:30 in the morning. Most of us are trying to go, and I'm going to try to get Dave to go. And which is for people like public works departments, and conservation commissions, and tree wardens and stuff like that. And it's basically all this kind of education and what can be done.
Wait,
When is it again?
did you say September
September.
20th? Because I have September 11th in
Oh,
mind.
yeah, I think it is.
Let me double
I
double
think I
check.
remember because September 20th is my birthday.
Okay, maybe you're right. It was
And you
September 11th.
remember
Sorry.
September 11th.
I'm wrong. September 11th.
9/11.
At
9:30.
9:30 at the Belfast Boat Club.
Is
At
that
the
a
boat club?
weekday?
It's Thursday,
Yes.
yeah. Does that work for you? Maybe,
I don't know. I mean,
maybe.
I think it's more promising in terms of town staff attending, probably than,
That's why
it
they-
wasn't something we're asking them to do on.
Those are for stuff.
Right.
Do you think it's some,
They're gonna try to see if they can do some reporting of it, but they don't know.
I mean, I don't know if it is the kind of, I don't know if I will add a lot to it. I would
I know,
certainly
it's
be interested in
basically-
hearing
Basically for us to learn about.
and then tell us what the town, what we should
And
do.
so the other thing is they have a recommended this is for Emerald Ash Borer right now, is that they can help us set up a town basic meeting, which we're thinking maybe late September. And they have this thing called a tree tagging event. So we'd have like a community event somewhere, maybe downtown or something. We have to be someplace near trees where we can show people what it looks like. And then have information where they learn about what it is and then see what an ash tree looks like. And then they have these things called these tags, these like basically piece of paper, they're laminated, and it's it helps us calculate how valuable a tree is. Like this tree provides, puts this much money back into the community by reducing, air pollution and
Shade.
what
Shade.
shades and
Yeah,
not using
yeah, they'll give you the
all the different things.
statistics.
Yeah.
And so it's like the value of a tree, and it's any kind of tree, really. But so it's called a tree tagging event. I can send you a link to it. And so we wanted to do something like that. and get a bunch of these tags and put them on lots of trees all over town so people could say, oh,
Ash trees.
ash trees. Well, you could do other trees too if you wanted to, but you
Mhm.
don't have to. But to show how valuable a shade tree or an ash tree is to the community. So, and you put these on there with, I think, purple ribbon or something like that, and they keep up for about a few months. So people walking by will start to notice that, oh, yeah, that would be bad. Like we just yesterday had a tree taken down in our yard because it was rotted at the base. And we didn't think it'd be that much of a difference because we have a lot of shade in our yard. We thought, oh my God, we were just shocked. It wasn't even that
I
massive
took down a
difference.
tree. I made some not smart decisions taking down trees at my house, and I wish I had nursed it along for another 10 years. And now the headlights from Mechanic Street. And
Yeah.
oh yes,
Well, it was all rotted at the bottom, and the guy really
Mine
kind of
was rotted
scared. It was
too.
dead at the top, but on the other hand, it was a little tiny but still alive. We're thinking we have no shade now on the patio. I was like, oh.
wouldn't it be fun to have people go through
God,
these
I wish I
stories
could-
about like the tree I wish I hadn't cut down, and we could,
Yeah.
what
I
a-
wish I could share the shade that my neighbor's trees give to with all of you guys, because we have those Norway maples that if you want something to come back fast.
No, I don't want to.
I cut, mine were Norway maples and they were lovely and they were thriving. And two of them in my backyard, when I first bought the house, I was like, I want sun. I want to be able to be on the back deck and have sun. And it was not smart. And
Well, like
Alas.
we didn't have a lot of choices but
Yeah,
on the other
anyway,
hand, but
yeah.
still, we're just shocked because we didn't think it was that big. of a
so
tree.
value of the tree, I think
I think it's really good to have these
I
things.
think,
for
I
people
think
to
we should
understand.
limit it this year though to the ash trees, just so that
Yeah,
people
I
can come
agree.
to understand what does an ash tree look like, and then,
Sure.
you know, what's the.
if you
point
could do a
of
little
ash
bit
tree?
of that soon, it would be, I feel like the
We could.
tourists and everybody and like
We could-
down when you're out and about, people are so hungry to learn things. And
We could do that sooner.
even if you started with one.
Well, so
There's a
what-
calculator.
But whatever you want to do is great. Is there anything I can do to
Well,
help?
I mean, I think we can easily identify trees. We have the Louise's. So I just want to back up for a second. So I'm going to suggest that let's just focus on ash trees in the Emerald Ash Borer Preparedness Plan. We need to provide, this is where we need to talk to you, Allison. We need to be prepared. Belfast is in the infected zone now.
Mhm.
It's creeping all over the place. We need to be prepared as a community for some kind of a plan for when it hits. And we had talked to Allison about putting together something for the select board.
Mhm.
So it's going to create a financial dilemma,
Correct.
um,
Yeah,
which
we didn't buy the solar farm and with that money.
Yeah,
and
right,
blah, blah, blah,
exactly.
Not to go down.
So if we can just focus on on ash trees and the Emerald Ash Borer program for now, I'm talking over the next 3 weeks, month.
I think it'd be great to get that on and have a presentation from
Yep.
you guys
Yep.
about, what's
So
been
when it
done so
hits-
far, why it matters, what's happened in other places, and how much,
How much it's going to cost.
right.
What our recommendation would be
Mm-hmm.
for a mitigation plan, right?
Yep.
And what the consequences would be of not doing anything, which is far greater than the cost of.
Right,
putting-
some of those photos of the towns where they all died, and we did this years and years ago when I first got on the select board. There was a pretty effective presentation that kind of left everybody like, oh, we don't want that to happen here. But there's none of the same people are on the select board, so
So
just let me know when you would be ready to have that requested to be on the agenda.
So
Do it. We could do it 2 weeks. Well,
what's that?
you decide.
What's that, Barb?
I was gonna say, we could do it the next meeting, couldn't we? No?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
We don't want something super long.
is the next
anyway.
meeting is in
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
What next? meeting?
The
Select board meeting?
Oh,
What about a public program though, too? Is that going to happen or?
Well, this would be
That should happen
primarily-
too, but it's good to get this, to remind the select board about that it's an issue and the financial part of it too, before we go trying to give away all the money again.
So
Right.
these are trees in the right of way. Trees
Okay.
we have
That's
some
what we're ready
control
to-
over.
Okay, no,
right?
that's a good idea.
And
especially-
responsibility for,
And
so,
responsibility for, good point. And then there's, there's already monies set aside for some kind of mitigation or something, right?
Yeah, but it would be good to firm
We're looking
that
at.
up because it's been discussed.
Yep.
But it needs to be, and it was an easy kind of thing. I don't think it's ever been formally voted on by the
Yep,
town, but it would be, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but just reminding everybody of the major cost and the importance of the way it was discussed before was, and it was the Conservation Commission, it was them telling us that we needed to budget somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000 per tree that we wanted to protect, and that you would identify trees that we wanted to protect, and they would be treated with ivermectin injections at the right time. I have no idea if that's still what's,
That's what they're still
They
recommending.
so just kind of those basics of, and then we also, it would be good to start being able to tell private property owners what to do. And then, so, just basically getting across the main issue, keeping in mind that the select board thrives on high level bullet points and
Yep. Yeah.
photos and then, I think a public campaign and all of that is good too, but just reminding everybody for budget time and an idea of, do we want to start doing this now? Dave will be helpful too in making sure that maybe some things are in the budget, but.
yeah. Beatty?
I already said something to the chiropractor, John Stone, who's on Elm Street, to Ashen. He depends completely on non-air conditioning cooling with fans and shutters and those trees, which protect him from Route 1. And they're both ash. So I know that he would like to know, one, what do you do to protect them? And two, what is the town policy? So there you have somebody who's pretty.
Are they in the right of way, or are they, I'm forgetting what the Johnstone,
Johnstone's
Are they
chiropractor.
in the right of way or on his own property?
What?
Are
Are
they
they in
on
the town right of way?
I think they're right of way.
Okay.
I don't know how far it extends,
Well, we can look and see if they're on the right way. Louise's plan. And did you get the information? You got the information I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Maybe he should come to the select board meeting and just say how important the trees are to him.
Well, we could start, if his trees are ash,
Yeah,
I'm just thinking, maybe if we
They
have
are
this
ash.
event, whatever we're doing
right.
in September, maybe we do it at the Village Green, and we just walk over to his property and show people.
I'm sure there's,
and those are all great things to do. There's that, the select board, I don't think the select board needs to be,
Convinced.
I think the basic spiel about why it matters. And, we already as a town have decided to plant, protect, and hazard mitigate trees in the right of way. So that's a clear responsibility that we have. And just the basics of what the threat is it time to treat now? What the Conservation Commission is doing, what additional resources might be needed from the town budget process, maybe for this year, or, whatever you're prepared to give, but it's just to remind everybody that is going to be a cost, and then trying to keep it probably to around 15 minutes,
all
and
right,
then
good.
questions. And the select board does much better if we are able to get some things into the packet ahead of time, so that
I think the new map should be in there, which is the one that they sent us. If
Yep.
you go online and look for the emerald ash borer map.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Google it, it gives you this really old one, but during the talk we had this year, they gave us a more updated one. which
Yeah.
For some reason I can't find, but it's in Belfast, it's in Waterville, it's in Bath,
Bangor.
Brunswick, and it's off on some of the islands. So it's kind of like surrounding us.
Yeah, and then some pictures of what it looks like when all the ash trees die in other places. Have you seen those?
No,
They're
It's
just
it's-
Google like Emerald Ash Borer Town, and it's
I've seen them in Massachusetts.
Stretches of highway through, like, I don't know if it's New York, Pennsylvania. It's like all the trees are dead.
Mhm.
Can we go back to the money thing? I missed. I want to make sure I understand what money is understood to be available for ash trees right now. Like, where is it? Where are these money?
it's that same rabbit hole that we don't necessarily want to like beat on too much of the
The fine money. right?
the fine money that we were
Yeah.
going to use for. I had the brilliant idea of using it for the solar
That
farm.
fine money is now
It's been
pretty much designated for this.
Yeah, and it was, and it was talked about when we started more vigorously enforcing or I don't know, when we ended up with a number of violations related to our shoreland zoning ordinance and our shade tree ordinance, rather than having all of that just pour back over into the general fund, which is what normally happens with fines and fees of all types in town, there was a conversation, hey, we should, because every time the select board does an agreement with, anytime we take somebody to court or enforce a violation, it comes before the select board and we usually approve a consent agreement type thing with whoever violated things. And so that has given us an opportunity over time to say, let's put it in this fund. And that is a carryover from when the select board remembered getting a presentation from the Conservation Commission years ago, back, I think maybe I was on the Conservation Commission then, it might have been almost 10 years ago. And they really kind of scared everybody a little bit, I think rightly so, and said, you're going to need hundreds of thousands of dollars for this. And they wanted us to budget right away. And everybody was like, we need money for other things. So it was like an urgent appeal to start putting money away for this, and didn't really do that in the budget process. But then it was like, oh, okay, we're this unexpected money. So I think it's around $200,000 or $150,000 or,
Right.
but don't quote me on that, because it's not like the town promised that this money is going to go here. It's like
Got it.
if it were to be really needed for some other tree related thing,
the intention, but not the promise.
it's been discussed, but it would be all,
And so apart from that fund though, would there be
Well-
a need to, Sorry. Would there be a need to like go through the annual budget process to get any other money for the EAB?
yeah, there would be a need to, so I think what we're gonna want to do is plan to spend some, so that it doesn't have to cut into the normal street tree budget, which we've been successful in maintaining to buy and plant, and then they of course have some budget which is related to pruning and sometimes the taking down of the necessary trees. So that's our normal budget every year. And if I think we want to try to advocate to maintain that. That's been one of the Conservation Commission's greatest successes, I think, is getting that tree program going. We want that budget to stay the same so we can keep planting trees. And then the emerald ash borer mitigation, prevention, whatever we're going to call it, should be funded by the reserve fund that has been established.
Right.
And we just want to kind of remind everybody, this was talked about years ago. We've been lucky that we haven't had to invest a bunch of money so far. Now the time has come. The threat is here. This is the plan. We're going to need some money.
Edie?
Barbara mentioned earlier, teaching the public about the value of trees, that we need people to understand, actually, as well as the environmental value and the heat shade value, the money value of the trees. When they disappear, when what Cynthia just described of a dead, all these ash trees, those properties immediately descend into the sort of position of almost slum. I mean, it's not that bad, but there's a real drop in the value of the individual owner's property. And that should help both with the funding of the mitigation and then the replacement, which will have to happen for some of them perhaps.
Well, we already got some numbers
Great.
from Shane Hendrick, who's the licensed arborist and the only licensed pesticide applicator. And we're looking at around $100,000 to treat all the trees on Louisa Crane's report, which is 400 and some odd trees in town with. So I think we got some.
That's a great starting point.
We got some numbers. We've got some metrics. We got some. We can have a dialogue with some teeth in it. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
It's serious discussion. It's not just what if kind of thing, right? So we're in pretty good shape from that perspective because we did some homework ahead of time. We just need to get in front of the select board with a thoughtful presentation that will compel them to create a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Because the other part of this is we technically really can't do anything until the Maine Forestry Service says that we're in the affected area. Then they pull the trigger and say, because we're not supposed to.
Oh, that's really helpful to know.
You're
So
not,
they
you
decide
can't
when.
react. Yeah, they're the ones that say, okay, you guys you ready to go? Because it's no longer just in Belfast. It's a 30-mile radius around the infected area. Once you're in that area, you get the go ahead and do your pesticide mitigation.
Okay, and we are not there yet?
I don't recommend it.
Well, you can do it. You have to find an applicator that will be willing to do it. Shane said that he won't do it until,
Oh, okay.
because it really
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
make a
fine.
lot of sense to do it. This is
Right.
the discussion we had with,
Yeah, no.
But he can do it.
He
on
can-
private
yeah.
property. He can.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, but that's not, those are like the details, but the main thing is that the state decides when it is a good time
Yep.
to
that's
begin,
exactly right.
and we are not yet
Close.
in that, but we're
Right,
close.
right.
And when does the state anticipate?
Somebody observes the presence of it. You
Right.
Yep.
Provide evidence.
They believe it's probably here because it's all around us, but it's hard to find because it usually hits the tops of the trees first. And the people who tend to find it tend to be tree removal people who
The
are
arborists.
And it's usually the arborists who have, since ash trees tend to grow outward, like they span out like that. The only people who can usually cut them down are people with those, what do they call the boom trucks? Is that what they're right?
Yeah, yeah.
Bucket
Okay,
So
truck.
it's basically those
Yep.
tree removal guys are the ones who are more likely to find it first.
okay, so this is really helpful. So the explanation to the select board is gonna need to be basically like that,
In the
it's
ready.
not a planning thing for the next year's budget. We need to be prepared to start expending some of those funds. And that you guys are now refining the list of trees that was already,
We got the list.
right, but you're going through and there's 400 trees identified there. Maybe you guys will be, but you're gonna take responsibility for
Which trees go out.
which trees
Because
and.
they can only be treated in a kind of small window of time, which is usually early May.
Yeah.
So there's no way he could do 400 trees in that time. So we'd have to prioritize, we want these ones to be treated this year. Then,
Well,
and treatment lasts at least 2 years.
we don't, we'll work with the professional that
Right.
knows all the timing and the treatment techniques, whether it's drenching or injection or this based on the size of the tree. We don't need to know all that, the arborist. And I already spoke with Shane Hendrick, who was Shane's Tree Works.
Right.
Shane's the guy Dave
Yeah,
recommended.
Yeah, I know Shane.
And the other,
Yeah.
the other thing we learned from this, talking to these guys at the Maine Forest Service, is that some trees, the ones that are especially big, they can't get the injections because they use the bark is too thick for the injection to go far enough into the tree, and then they need other methods, like the one on C Street. I guess they get a different.
I heard that they were already treating theirs.
They were treated,
yeah.
but I'm saying it's not as effective if the tree is especially large. So it's like its size. It depends on the size of the tree, and
So it'll be good to be able to say-
it's way cheaper than removal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
way
yeah.
cheaper.
Way cheaper.
So it would be good also to be able to say, and here's a quick, maybe like guide for private property owners who want to, we're dealing with the town trees, but
Right.
for private property owners, here's the person that we're recommending that you contact.
Yep,
Right?
and we can even give them an approximate cost. It's $12 per, it's the diameter of breast height, DBH. 12 bucks an inch, right? So there's ways we can provide some guidance, but the ultimate responsibility would fall on the arborist that would execute the plan, right? And so we call it a emerald ash borer preparedness plan because we need to be prepared as soon as the state says, okay, guys, you're in a hot zone now. We need to be prepared to pull the trigger and say, go, ready, set, go. Let's,
Right.
get on the
We were one
phone.
of the first plans in the state.
Oh,
What's that?
We were Camden had one of the first plans in the state when Louisa did that.
right. That's what
Right.
we were referring to.
So which is really, I mean, it's really
Amazing.
great to see the groundwork.
Can I just pop in here really quick?
Yep.
I'm gonna just review if it's okay, what we've discussed, we want to include in that presentation, and then maybe we want to just confirm. The next select board date is the 19th, so just confirm whether or not that's actually the date we're talking about.
Yep.
The what?
So-
I'm not comfortable with that date.
No?
2
Okay.
weeks?
Well,
No.
this is just to give them a heads up that we're working on it, I think. Isn't that right? Not
This is
necessarily.
why
to give
don't
them
I
a
review-
presentation, right?
Let her.
Why don't I review what
Well, I
we all
just want to
just
give her some
discussed?
feedback.
Yeah, you want me to review what we all just discussed and
Okay.
we can decide whether or not we're ready for that in 2 weeks? Does that sound good? Okay, 15 minutes.
You can review it, but I'm not comfortable with 2 weeks, so,
Okay.
That's what,
I'm
no,
just
this
throwing
is
it out
partially
there.
just to, yeah, just to make sure, I think that we all know,
What's been said?
because we just said, let's
Right.
include, so let's make sure that we all remember.
Sounds good.
Okay, 15 minutes. Get into the packet ahead of time. We're gonna include an updated map. We're gonna touch on the fact that we've been lucky, we haven't had to spend money, but now it's time. Emerald ash is here, or it's imminent. We'll include pictures of what it looks like when the ash trees die, what it looks like or the fact that property
Right.
values drop. The state decides when it's time. That's when you can provide evidence, which is difficult, but that's what it is. And it's not a planning thing for next year, for like next year's budget,
Right.
but it's act the moment that we have confirmation that it's here, and then provide a quick guide for private property owners, but understanding that we're dealing with town trees, and then answer, what is the town policy? What
Right.
do you do to protect them?
Well, okay.
Did I miss anything?
Well,
Yeah,
one thing
and
I
then
would
we'll
say
give them some numbers, some cost estimates, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a potential for treating trees in the spring, depending on what our inventory looks like. If there's some we think are more potential that we may need
Right.
to do some in this upcoming spring, but it's just a maybe. And then I think we would also add that I would like to give pictures of what they look like when the tree is starting to die back and what communities look like who got infested with it. And
Yeah,
the
I have
other
that.
thing is tell them that we are planning a community event probably for September,
Yes,
September or something.
Right.
We just haven't got haven't fine tuned the details on, which we don't have to in the next 2 weeks.
so,
Is there a concern with so does the ash borer kind of come through and then the threat goes away, or are communities finding that they have to do these treatments every 2 years, every 2 years, every 2 years? So
Yep.
it's not $100,000 investment, it's a $100,000 investment every 2 years
Some
for
of them
ever?
they last at least 2 years, some of them longer. And the other thing we learned from the Forest Service people is that they don't know why, but like 5 or 10% of trees in places that are terribly infected, trees just survive.
Right,
So, but they don't know, they still don't
like the
understand
Dutch elms.
why those ones survived. So it's kind of like prioritizing the best ones so that you want to make sure you keep them.
Is there like a herd immunity component of this, at all, where if you treat a bunch of
well,
trees, then there aren't as many?
there isn't a,
Did they fly? They
The-
fly?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
there isn't a way. It's genetic. Genetic mutations. I mean, hey, Sam, by the way, thanks for doing
Yeah,
that.
thank you, Sam.
Yeah, it was great. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer by saying I'm not comfortable with 2 weeks.
I
I'm
think we could
comfortable.
maybe come up with something.
Well,
No, that's fine.
We can
That's
talk about
fine.
here's what I was
You sound
going to
ready right
suggest.
now.
We put together a presentation and we do it ourselves, right? It doesn't have to be at our next meeting. It could be, we could put together a presentation and then go through it together, right? It could be a subset of us, right? Just to make sure we're all good with it and,
I'm just thinking that over email, we could come up with a little bit of information. And I think it's the purpose of being in front of the select board is just to let them know that, hey, we're in a quarantine now. It's all around us. We're
Right.
getting ready.
Yeah.
We don't have all our ducks in a row,
Right.
but we're
Here's
just,
what we know.
this is a little information about what we're dealing with.
Soon.
So
It
it's
should be
coming.
soon.
And then once we get a little
Yep.
further down the road of exactly what we're doing and exactly which trees we're in effect, that's going to become maybe October or November, something a little further down the road, but just give them the heads up.
I
That's-
feel like
that's
we
my
already
point.
know all the things that Allison has
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
listed
And I
as.
have to run.
It
to
really
an
is
appointment.
just the main thing, we
Go.
can talk over email, but showing
oh, good.
people,
We'll see you. Thanks.
a couple pictures of the ash trees that we do have in town that we really value. And the select board isn't going to need to be or want to be involved in the details. It's like, just so you know, this is happening. We started planning for it almost a decade ago. And, you're going to be working mostly with Dave St. Laurent
Yeah.
and Audra, but it's actually a real success story because the town did start planning for it a really long time ago.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
it's the Conservation Commission that has the responsibility for that. And now we have totally new people on the Conservation Commission, but the work has continued and we've taken, the stuff that was done a decade ago and that's going to this GIS thing. It's like, you guys have actually continued with something that was the Conservation Commission was asked to do. And it's a great service to the town and the select board doesn't have to worry about it really because it's already being thought about. It's they're not going to want to know everything.
So it sounds like you guys think we can be ready in 2 weeks, right?
It's also been, I'll have to check with, it's never a guarantee, but it has seemed to me like the agendas have been a little bit light right now.
Yep.
And so you don't know, sometimes we all of a sudden start getting a bunch of stuff that needs to be on agendas and then it becomes a more stressful thing to try to get it in. So if it's still kind of light for agendas,
Yeah.
I think it would be good to try to do it in 2 weeks, unless there's heavy competition, and then that would be.
So what I was thinking was do a brief PowerPoint presentation kind of thing.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm like really comfortable with PowerPoint. I'm not trying to, I'm happy to participate, obviously, and I'll even volunteer to put the PowerPoint presentation. I'm like really comfortable with
I
PowerPoint.
figure you might be. You seem What part of it are you not comfortable with?
The timing, only from the perspective of, I want to make sure we all have the ability to provide input on it. And I guess that's the only thing I'm not comfortable with.
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about all of the things, we've covered all of the things
Yeah.
of what
Yeah,
she
right.
feels should be on there.
I tend
So,
to be really
bet we all
conservative too,
agree.
so I mean, I'll admit that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard Barb saying she didn't feel like it would be too tough to draft in email form, something that we can circulate and all review. And
All
then
right.
you could maybe get more comfortable. You can always say.
Yeah, well,
"No,
I
I'm
can
not
get
enough."
comfortable, don't worry. It's
You
like-
could put the presentation on
I'm-
Google Slides or something and let everybody.
All right, okay, here's what, yeah, it's just, okay. Why don't, I'll take a stab at it, right? And I got to do it soon. It's going to be really rough, but 15 minutes, 12 slides, whatever. I don't like to do more than a minute a slide. It gets ridiculous. I don't like giving long presentations. I think they tend to be like, wah, 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 talking head kind of thing, right? Which everybody loses attention.
Mhm.
I think we got the most important aspects of it. The other thing I would want to do would be yeah, I'm talking to myself. Sorry, guys. You have to bear with me.
It's okay.
As long as you don't argue with yourself.
I do. You would be amazed at what I call myself once in a while.
It doesn't have to be 15 minutes because you're going to have questions and answers that are going to.
Yeah.
And so it actually can be as fast as you want it to be. And then,
Right.
and then people are going to balloon it out. Well, that's not fair.
All right,
You know,
so,
fill it out.
Here's a place where like all the
Yep.
trees on the street died, and this one
Where
even fell
is
over
that?
on a car. Michigan.
send me can you send?
Sure,
can
yeah, I'll send you
email me the link?
I'll send you a couple pictures that were.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'll put something together. I'll do it by, what's today? I'll do it by Tuesday next week.
Great.
Oh,
I'll
the
send it
limbs
to you
are falling.
guys. Give me your feedback ASAP. And,
So you're not gonna delegate it to Barb. You're gonna take it on.
I can't, she's not here to protect herself.
Well, she's doing it.
Let him do it. Do
The
it.
two of them can work on it to get the basic.
No, it's okay, it's okay. I don't mind doing it.
Actually,
I
and you
I
know,
already said I'd put together a plan, and I haven't done that yet because of all this other stuff going on, but it's not, PowerPoint I'm really comfortable with. I'm comfortable, I mean, and not animated with little things popping out of here and there. It's just,
Oh, come on.
you know, but
you know what, we can also, if we could use that basic outline for like a brochure or for the
Yeah.
public program. So it's great that you guys want to do the,
yeah, and I
Get all
already
the
met with
facts
Shane
out there.
Hendrick. I had a long, Shane and I got in his truck and we drove around town, and looked at some of the ash trees, which was amazing. He's a great resource. He's a really smart guy, and he's where the numbers came from.
That's great. And maybe he'll come to the meeting too. And
Well,
it's all-
I think we should talk to him about it too, just to validate the math, make sure we're okay. And does that sound
sounds
Okay.
good, sounds great.
Sam?
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for, I second that.
Well,
No, that sounds great.
Yes, thank you
Oh.
for doing that.
Happy to
Uh,
contribute to any
I-
feedback.
no problem.
I'm reading now about it in other towns. It's reminding me of how they're like hundreds
it's-
of dead
yeah.
ash trees and limbs are dropping and
Oh,
people are afraid. People do in Camden, they love trees, and then there are also the people that are afraid of what if the tree falls down? And so this will speak to both groups.
Also, they had at the meeting we went to on Zoom, they said that in Farmington, one of the trees was removed and it cost close to $30,000.
Really?
So I think that
Wow.
point of like, it's better to try and treat the tree than just cut it, because cutting trees is really expensive.
It sure is, especially
And
dead
that-
trees.
Yeah, and that'll like
That would be a
appeal.
very good thing to bring up in this meeting.
Right, and we're responsible for all of that because it's the ones in the right of way, unless they're CMP trees, but anyway, yeah.
So it's
Overall, I think
cheaper
that,
to actually treat the tree than it is to remove it,
That's exactly correct.
unless you do it yourself, which is not a good
No,
idea.
but benign neglect is always an option, right? You just ignore it and it'll go away.
Right.
This is not going to go
Yeah.
away. But
That's another good point to bring up. It's,
Yeah.
it's not going to go away.
no, it's not going to go away. If we ignore it, it's not going to not happen. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay, that sounds
That
good.
sounds great. Thank you for doing that.
oh, wow, sorry.
Sam,
Sounds great. Yeah.
so
yeah.
I'm going to work with you as my first line of offense to when I
Me?
when I put the thing together, I'm going to send it to you. Maybe we
Okay.
can meet somewhere live
Yeah.
and just quickly go through it after. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah. Yeah. We can schedule like getting
I mean,
together.
I don't know when or anything, but I mean, like for 45 minutes
before
at Zoom or
yeah,
something.
before the 19th.
Well, yeah, and then, so how do we get locked into the 19th?
That's the select.
I'll,
That's
Yeah,
just
but how do
gonna-
we
that's-
get on the agenda?
there's no like guarantee. I'm just, I will reach out to Susan and I'm the vice chair once again. So,
So we're talking to the
I'm
right
gonna
person.
ask her.
Well,
to-
I don't know, I don't even know
It
my
might be-
availability
be-
the 19th.
What?
I don't know my availability the 19th either. I got to check it out.
The next date is the 9th of September, I think.
The date
That's what I'm
after
seeing.
that.
That would be the next one. That's what I'm seeing on the select board.
What's the
Would
19th?
you want to,
No, the 9th.
So September 9th.
they're always
or
Tuesdays.
I thought it was
August
2 weeks.
19th. August 19th.
It-
is the
Oh,
next
the
August
next one
19th?
after
Yeah.
that.
And then the
Okay,
one
okay,
after,
I
and I
see.
believe that's because of the holiday, because of Labor Day.
All right. So it's the 19th or the 9th of September,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So it's the 19th of
I'm-
August to the 9th of September.
right.
That's
Okay.
right. It's a lot of nines.
Unless there's stuff going on with the agenda that I'm not aware of.
Well, irrespective of
Don't
what,
worry about that, just make it a deadline for you.
yeah,
Try to-
exactly. The good point. But irrespective of the date, we still need to put it together anyway, so.
Well, I should ask soon about it
Yeah.
being on the,
Yeah.
I'll feel it out with what and report
Okay,
back if
Allison,
either of
that
them
would be
are.
really helpful.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I'm sending you guys a link to this stuff that was shared with us before from Minnesota about like, they have pictures of streets from like 2006 and then 2018 and the difference after all the ash trees died. And
It's shocking, huh?
yes, so.
I know the town I grew up in Massachusetts, there's hardly any ash trees around anymore. They're all dead. It's really disturbing when you see it. And
Is
I'm
there
sure
anything else killing ash trees other than the ash borer?
I don't know.
When I brought this up in the select board meeting a couple weeks ago, Susan said, "Oh, yeah, mine have already died from it," and I was like, "Oh, I don't
Oh,
think so."
really?
Yeah, I was like, "That
That's
would be
awful.
like," but then I said, "I don't think that would be the emerald ash borer that would have killed your ash trees," and she said, "Oh, I'll look into that."
Hope
But
not.
I was like, "Oh my gosh,
That means
that's."
they're here.
I remember reading something about.
Can somebody
other
look into
bugs,
Susan Doerr's trees? And
But I don't think it was a disease. It might have just been, I don't know, they're susceptible to.
I mean, the
having
brown-tailed
certain
moths take a toll sometimes a little bit, but mostly they weren't killing them.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. I have to head out.
Okay.
I took some notes from this portion though, and I'm obviously happy to pop in if there's anything else that comes up.
Could you send them to me? Because I'm taking the minutes.
I will not send them to you, Kathleen.
Yeah, why'd you want to do that?
No, I just don't feel like it.
Yeah, right. Pretty please.
No, I'd be
Okay.
happy to. Yeah, it will probably be later tonight when I have time to go through all this, but I absolutely will.
Great.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, Good to see you all.
You look really professional with that background and
You do.
everything. This is like
Well,
amazing.
thank you.
We're very impressed.
It's amazing what a virtual background will do for your professional.
Oh, I thought it was a real one.
I did too. Like, where do you?
Oh, no,
I thought
it's
there was a
virtual.
wall in your
Yeah.
house or something.
Yeah, right. Well,
Oh, like a big
So
backdrop?
she might have-
No, I do work from home, but I'm not that committed. Yeah. All right.
All
I will
right.
see you
Thank you.
all. Have a
So who
good
knows, but I
few
guess those
days,
aren't
good
ones
week,
that
and I'll be in
spread
touch
as bad
soon.
as the-
okay, bye. All right. Well, it's 2:00. Do we have, do we have other things we want to discuss, or are we?
Can we go back to the tree plan just for a second?
Sure.
Is there there's some kind of a plan that's an element of the whole Tree City thing, right? Isn't there
Your
Required-
requirements for
Yeah,
being
they're
part of it.
requirements.
okay,
Yeah,
so could we just like build on that and like just build it out?
yeah.
Yeah, that
definitely.
could be like the
There's-
skeleton of it or
And
something.
maintenance is part of that
Yeah,
requirement.
Yeah, so we could just like turn
there's
that
the
into like
project
the
canopy
most
thing too,
amazing
right?
one of their-
Right,
those
yeah.
plans that they-
That's all online too.
Right.
Like if you go to Project
Project Canopy.
and the Arbor
Okay.
Foundation, so you can look at everything up.
So, but does that make sense as a starting point?
No, that's
for-
great, because it's actually, I think a lot of it is what we mentioned already, and
Yeah.
education's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Has everybody seen Camden's, the Emerald Ash Borer preparedness plan that Louisa put together?
Yes.
You guys, okay.
Oh, she doesn't, Kathleen doesn't have one.
I thought I emailed it to you. No?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, if you didn't get it, I didn't do it. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a really well done document. In fact, I talked to Louisa. I actually worked with her on an invasive plant survey 3 weeks ago, and she emailed me the map and all kinds of stuff. So I've got all the,
Oh,
yeah, it's great. And I have the Excel spreadsheet, the CSV file that has all the trees, where they are, what the DBHs are, blah, blah, blah.
uh-huh,
That's what I
Great.
took this, when I met with Shane, and we went through it. And some of the trees are no longer around, by the way.
wow.
So it's changed. It was 2017. It's a while ago. So 8 years ago. So, and then when we did the cost estimate to do the treatment, we cranked up the DBHs by 10% because the trees would have grown. But as anecdotally, some of the trees are no longer there. In fact, Shane took some of them down, not because of emerald ash borer, but because they had been compromised due to other things. So, so there's, some really good data.
so can you just resend that to everybody? Like the
Absolutely.
most
I'll send
recent,
the,
whatever?
I'll send you you guys, can you guys all handle Excel? You have access,
Yeah,
Just
my
barely.
computer, yeah.
well, you can open it
The
up.
document too, there's an actual written,
Right. there's a
Yeah,
whole
there
report.
isn't, the report doesn't have the trees, location, the address, it has the overall,
Yeah, and like little like.
it's a CSV file. I'll send it to you anyway, along with the report.
Okay,
And if you can open it, fine. If you can't,
we have it in our GIS now too,
Oh,
all the trees. It's not just this.
been loaded into the GIS.
Yeah, you want me to pull that up and share my screen so we can look at it together and see?
Sure,
Um,
that's wonderful.
I didn't realize that wasn't, yeah, why don't we look at that together and see what needs to,
So who did that?
CAI.
Oh,
I sent them all the stuff and they,
oh, okay.
so let me log into the town account.
So you
Um,
did that.
and one thing also.
I love
Before
JS.
we depart, maybe we should, I don't know if we want to do it now, but talk more about the public meeting too. Like, is there going to be, are we going to have a printout and what will it entail? Because I know one thing about the Zoom call, I was sort of saying that it was highly technical sometimes. They talked a lot about the different kinds of poisons that they use. There's a real variety of things
Yeah.
that can be injected. And I think we should really be thoughtful of how your average person who wants to know a little bit about this subject and is scared can somehow get involved, you know?
Right, absolutely.
And maybe this will be a good outline for that, but
Yeah, there's all that stuff too. I mean,
it has to be sort of basic. I mean, I was really kind of lost about a lot of the stuff they were talking about.
The other day.
Yeah, it was very technical. And I think that's actually a bit of a turnoff to people in terms of,
yeah,
so after the select board meeting, I don't know if we have time next meeting, but I think it'd be good that people sort of associate this committee with public information about trees too,
Yeah.
that's digestible.
yeah, I get it.
I never even took biology in high
Okay.
school, so maybe that's something too. I
Well-
am not a scientist, but
Yeah, I guess they just need to
Most
know.
people are not prepared.
Nobody.
it's really,
People don't, you know way more biology than you're.
well, they
Well,
probably,
well-
they care, hopefully they might care about their ash trees, but
Yes.
they don't want to absorb, I think, all that information. They just want to find out how to
Right.
protect it.
Right, exactly. Allison, I have a basic question. Do you feel like, before we go forward with one particular tree guy, we should make sure that, see, he has told Brian that he's the only person certified to
To do
apply
that. Oh, right.
pesticides.
What's the name of the
towards-
company?
Tree work.
Tree works.
I think that Dave's recommendation
He
is what we should,
That's
Okay, so
Dave's
do you feel like the
recommendation.
select board would go along with it? They wouldn't feel that you need to get.
no, we don't want to get into that because yeah, it's,
Yeah,
So-
I'm just saying that because the state said, no, he's not the only one, there's plenty.
oh, that's probably true. But what is good is that Dave's already worked with Shane and Dave as a tree warden, he
Yeah.
is constantly like, people call him all the time wanting to take trees down and then he gets second opinions and he works. And so he's kind of developed like for these types of things, I think he knows that Shane is going to be the most qualified. Also, what was good about Shane is his willingness to use the app and do it that way. And, excited about the technology part of it because keeping track of it and all of that is going to be important. And so,
Well,
Dominic Fontaine is another person that we use a lot for the tree preservation, for second opinions when people think trees need to come down. If you've never had the pleasure of hearing Dominic explain to somebody why their tree doesn't need to come down, he would be a fun person actually to invite sometime. He knows so much about trees and believes so strongly
Yeah,
in taking care of them for the most part, rather than taking them down. He's my husband's best friend also, and years ago told us we should not have taken down a tree that was in our front yard. I let the town take it
I
down.
think you're right.
He
It was at our thing, yes. And Dave mentioned him, but
Yeah, you're right, exactly. Yeah.
he is, when he feels strongly about something, he can be seen as unyielding and argumentative a little bit, but just very persuasive too. He had all these reasons why I should have not taken down the tree that was in our front yard. It's very old Norway maple. And the neighbors were worried that it was going to fall. And this was at the beginning of my home ownership. And the town wanted to take it down and I just let it go. But he said, Allison, I would have come and taken care of that tree for you for another 10 years. You could have gotten 10 years out of it. It
Yeah.
just needed to be delimbed every blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And he's just so knowledgeable. So it's
Yeah.
fun when somebody says, well, this is a hazard tree and Dave can send Dominic over. And if Dominic thinks a tree really needs to come down, then it really does need to come down.
What's his last name?
Fontaine, he has Cliffside Tree Service. So he's great, but he's not going to do this, for instance.
Yeah, well, Shane was extremely gracious with his time, and he spent a lot of time with me, educating me, and willingness to work with us. And so I do feel like he's, if barring anybody else who, and Dave recommends him.
Yep.
I mean,
We
feel
kind of
like-
let that stuff go through the tree
yeah,
warden
and
anyway.
if somebody's, whoever the custodian is of the program, that can't be us, because we don't have the knowledge or resources.
Right, we're just assisting with the identification and the
Yep.
prioritization
then-
and the public education.
There's the other element to this too, which was part of our discussion. Part of the emerald ash borer preparedness plan for a specific tree is going to be involved. Maybe it needs to be pre-watered depending on where the tree is, because that's how, I mean, the systemic pesticide that's used is called imidacloprid. I'm a chemist, so I'm really comfortable with all this stuff, which can be good and can be not good, because I'm really comfortable with this stuff, but I feel very comfortable with this, with the treatment program, that there's, for I'm babbling a little bit, but the plan would be, if we get the go-ahead from the select board, they say, yeah, we'll find the funding. Then the person we work with, who at this point, I think Shane would be the best one that I know of. There needs to be some work done ahead of time to prepare for it, so that as soon as the department, the Maine Forestry Service says, you guys are in the infected zone now, go.
Right.
We're ready to go. And, go around, do the, depending on the time of year too. We need to work with somebody we would trust to do the work. And it's kind of like the Army,
Right, no, operation.
Yeah,
Ash
it's
borer.
like tactical operation of, the program, right?
Be good to have somebody from the newspaper do a story on this when it takes into effect,
Yeah,
to just sort
it
of.
would. Yeah.
So what's Allison have up here?
Okay,
That's the GIS.
um,
That's cool.
so this, I've added both right now. We've got so we have just our regular street tree inventory. I'm going to turn that off right now. This layer here is the ash tree inventory that Louisa did,
That's awesome.
divided into, non-specimen, specimen over 100, and specimen B, whatever that means. So, each one has this information. Let's see what happens when I try to edit. Okay, well, that's good. It looks like it's editable. I need to make sure that would be editable by somebody else. It does allow, let's see, does it allow adding attachments? So ideally, you'd have a picture of each one in there. But what I don't know is if we need to, so the issue right now would be that we don't have, in here is two separate layers. So you've got, here I can, street trees, which is what you've been working on, the potential trees and the
Right.
existing trees. And then it could be that you could have it all integrated so that of all of the existing trees, which ones are ash trees. And we don't have we don't have the existing tree layer that we currently have. We don't have it broken down so you can isolate right now. I think we do in most cases keep track of the tree type somewhere in the data, but it's not really clean right now so that you can just take that existing street tree inventory that we have and then break it down into ash trees. That might take a little longer. It's like basically reconciling databases, so merging and saying, but because if I, like, for instance, if I turn the street tree layer back on, you're going to have these black dots.
Yep.
Are, let's see, let's turn off potential trees and just have these black dots are all existing trees. And I actually don't know if we've ever gone back and turned potential trees and planted trees into existing trees. And there's some database reconciliation that needs to happen, and we're going to need to get somebody to do that. In the short term, we can be patient, possibly, and just maybe work with the ash trees in their own separate layer. So taking this, because like, for instance, here, you've got one of Luisa's tree. This says it's at 26 Mechanic Street, it's a good condition ash tree, specimen B. There's a power line on sidewalk there. And then I'm guessing that at 26 Mechanic Street, in our other database that we've been using just as the street tree database, we have, oh, look, it's an ash tree. It's at 26 Mechanic Street. It's a green ash. It's, oh, you know, and we do, and that one, oh, look.
I know what to think. I was thinking of snow. I didn't want to hang out with you guys. I got shade on it.
So, oh, you're not supposed to use that term anymore. We're going over, this is perfect. So this is our existing trees database, which the Conservation Commission has helped to populate. This is the one you've been editing in field maps, right? Is this all making sense to everybody? Some people. So in that one, you've got a picture of some of this already. But what we've done is, in a separate one, that's where all of Luisa's data is. So I'm not 100% sure what the best way forward with that is to try to talk to CAI about reconciling these two databases. Here, Dave, I'm showing them. This is what we're looking at, the different tree layers that we have. So this is what Aaron did when we asked.
He did do all the.
Yeah. So these.
So you take the old database or the one that's in there now, and you'd have to go and validate everything, right?
Can I just give a little bit of there are different approaches. There are different ways we can go about it. One requires getting CAI to do additional work right now. Basically you can just look at Luisa's database, like this one here, Camden Ash Tree Inventory. That's what it's called. I don't know yet if it's showing up for you guys when you log into field maps. Is that one showing up for you? We can check on that.
I can't log in because I need to put in the username and password, and I forgot them.
So we can do two things, basically. We can work on.
I got them written down somewhere, but so I try, but I can check it out. But
Because
that's great.
we do, you know.
Can you look at it at the same time, existing trees in the ash tree layer?
Yes. So looking at, so this is our street tree layer. And this, all of the black dots,
Those are ash trees.
no,
Those are trees that have been
those are
planted.
trees. What we don't have separated out. So these are trees that are part of the existing tree database when we've been going out and doing all of that. Some of them do specify the species,
You need a coffee or something?
but so this is actually a little bit important
Buy
because
you one.
this is actually a little bit important because it's going to help us decide how to move forward, whether we're ready to work with the database or whether more work needs to be done.
Right.
So the way it is currently with our existing tree database, we don't have like see how street,
Yeah.
just, it's not a key. It's the way that the data is like delineated. So these are attributes, and you can't currently right now go under potential trees and choose a drop-down menu and then have it, or existing trees, and go through a drop-down menu and say ash, maple, da. You can't, there, with a little bit of work, that could
Yeah.
happen, but the way that the data was entered here, it wasn't like, I don't know if you've seen when you go to add a tree and the type of tree it is now, there's like a bunch of different things. And if you spell ash with a capital versus not a capital, it
Yep.
comes up as two different things. And so there's some cleaning up that needs to happen there. The good thing about this one is that we do have a picture for a lot of them. Now, so that's all the black is the existing tree database. The green is, David, this answers your question, so in some cases you have the same tree identified twice through a different process. So Louisa also identified this tree, also 26 Mechanic Street, blah, 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 as part of the ash tree
Mm-hmm.
inventory. It's a specimen B tree. So, and the good thing though is that it does look like it's editable. I'm logged into the town account right now, so
So I guess I don't understand, what does the green mark mean? So
that is the same ash tree identified by Louisa as part of the 2017 or whatever it was.
Yep.
Ash tree
there's that.
preparedness plan.
What's the other thing?
The other thing is our general tree database,
Okay.
which was done for a different purpose, which in some cases also collects information about the type of tree. I'm thinking
So that was the original.
what we don't want is people working in two different databases.
Yeah,
So we
right.
want, because we want to get to a point, right, where we're going to be able to give Shane, and we want them to go around, validate the trees, identify the trees that are to be treated versus not to be treated, or however it's going to be done. And we want then Shane to be able to use that same database to go in and see, okay, this tree, and then in much the same way that we do the planting and the halo, probably
Yeah.
mark it off. And so
Yeah.
we want to choose one of these databases to clean up. So I'm proposing that at this point, since we have Louisa's ash tree database, that we talk to Aaron at CAI about the long-term merging and reconciling the two databases and how we might go about that. But for the moment, we stick to working on editing and updating the Louisa's layer,
Yep.
because it was done for that purpose.
So those green dots, what, if you were on the left-hand side, which do they represent? Which? is that?
Specimen over 100.
DBH.
Oh, so they're color-coded and, okay, there's the key and that says what they are.
I think that was the estimated age of the tree.
Back then, or?
Yeah, back then.
Well, if it's over 100, then it's still. So you have Camden Ash Street. This is the legend or whatever. Specimen, non-specimen, specimen over 100, and specimen B, I can't remember what that means, but I'm sure it says it in the,
Yeah, it does. And it's something like, it could have been like a specimen tree, but there was some particular things about the location I read the whole thing, but I don't remember the exact details.
so we're going to want to go through and edit those trees, get rid, the ones that are not there anymore
Yeah.
would be removed
Mhm.
from, and
So what,
so I think are going to want to have a meeting with a few that are interested in the GIS, and Dave and Shane, because we're going to need to we could be asked to like move forward at any moment. We're going to try to get them on the agenda for either the 19th or the 9th.
Let's just, do the injections.
To tell,
So-
yeah, so we're going to be briefing
so
them.
I met with Shane.
Yeah.
Right? Did he tell you, or
I talked with him after, he said, he goes, I met with Brian.
Yeah, all right, good. And we had a really, what's that?
I said he's a bad guy.
Yeah, but never mind.
Said you were a good guy.
Yeah, he said you would forget it. So I got the, Louisa sent me a CSV file with all the,
Right,
like an Excel spreadsheet.
right.
And I sat down with Shane and we looked at it. And we actually we rode around and actually looked at some of the trees, and some of them are gone.
Mhm.
They did a cost estimate to treat all the trees.
Yeah.
What they did was which was pretty smart. They added up the DBHs of all the trees,
Yeah, then you.
and they added 10% because the trees have grown.
Yeah.
And then did a cost estimate based on $12 an inch for the treatment.
Yeah.
And it came out to be around $90,000 for all the trees.
Wow.
So,
We've known that.
I didn't know it was gonna be quite that much, but.
well,
That's what the Conservation Commission said back in 2018 when they scared the bejesus out of everybody. So they
So-
said more.
that doesn't mean we have to treat them all. That just means that,
If you did treat them all.
yeah, and instead of trying to triage what trees we're going to treat, what we're not, just,
I mean, could you pick just the specimen trees, or is that all just the?
So there
specimen?
is actually
get
a
into the
plan.
whole-
She identifies the ones less than 20 inches in diameter. They did,
then you get into the whole issue if you don't treat a tree and it does get infected, then you have to take it down, what it's going to cost to do that.
Mhm.
So it was kind of the lesser of all evils, was just say, let's just treat them all.
How much money do we have in the tree?
They were 437 or something like that.
like 150,000 or something, or we want to go in strong with this.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, whatever you guys want. This is.
It makes a lot of sense. They're going to give a presentation. When you actually look at it, the cost of taking them down, all of that stuff, there's,
Oh, yeah.
um,
If you had to cut all those trees down, it's gonna be over that.
oh, God, yeah.
very good.
Oh,
Good
it would be,
confirmation.
You know
it would be
better than I, but-
2-3 grand a tree,
Yeah,
minimum.
yeah. And as Shane said, if they're dead, it's even more expensive. Taking down dead trees is
Oh, good point.
Then they're dangerous.
dangerous, yeah, right. So, and there's some big trees. So,
Right.
so you knew about that. That's good. I think I sent you an email or something.
I was the one that talked to him about it.
Yep.
And then you must have called him or something,
I did.
and then he already kind of knew about it. I told him all about this database and everything, so he kind of already knew what we were trying
Yep,
to
I
do.
I told him you and I had spoke.
Yeah.
And, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, yeah, he's all over this. He,
He's-
he would probably be the most reasonable one. I think, honestly, though, I think he probably, just to keep everybody honest, maybe do a bid.
All right.
Am I wrong?
You're good.
I mean,
No,
after
you're not. I
last-
just got through saying we're going to go. Cynthia was like, should we do this? And I was like, we're going to do what Dave says. And he's the only,
Well,
but let's not talk about those details are going to be too much for right now.
we just need
But-
some numbers, right?
We want to just get to the point where we want, because I didn't realize how close it was. We're trying to get them prepared for the select board, just to be able to go over the basics and have them be able to, so we do want,
Did Shane tell you when these have to be done in the springtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can't do it right off.
well, there's an additional component, which is that we haven't yet gotten to the point, I guess the state decides when it's go time. And so it's in, yes,
Yes.
yeah, that,
Designate you as a quarantine area. We're not there yet.
Really?
Well, we
Or
are a
close.
quarantine
I
area. We're
mean,
not an infected area.
I'm sorry, yeah, an urgent or whatever it
So-
is. The level where you start
so
treating.
that
trees.
Belfast is, but we're not yet.
Wow, well, that's not far away.
No,
Right.
it isn't. So as Shane explained, he said, like, it's not a good idea to go ahead and just treat the trees right now because the treatment has a life. And it's like, it could be up to 3 years, right?
Okay.
So he said, the Maine Forestry Service gives guidance and they say, they recommend not treating trees that are in a quarantine area and wait till they're in an infected area like Belfast. And then,
Why?
because the treatment, you could potentially treat all your trees and you'd still be in a quarantine area for 3 years and then you'd have to.
It wastes a
retreat
lot
them.
of money.
So they're
So,
worried about us spending our own money?
Well,
No, I'm just curious. Is
No,
that-
I asked the same question. I'm not really sure.
well, I think they just see that
There's
as
a
a
pesticide
prudent
too.
What did they
thing to
say?
do,
Is that-
right?
I mean, it is a pesticide that kills other things too. I
I always
mean,
wondered about how.
I don't think we're trying
I
to
looked
like,
into this quite a bit because they use the same thing on the brown tail moths.
The imidacloprid,
that was ivermectin.
Yeah, that's what I thought
I
it was.
thought ivermectin was a different, that's that horse.
Ivermectin is what he told me, but I could be wrong.
And I do give that to the horses though too.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, I know
the-
ivermectin, but I think it's the same, it's a
Thought it was well, I
it's,
know
it's for controlling
imidacloprid,
parasites.
Whether they use ivermectin or
I don't know,
not.
like I wrote emomectin, but I don't think that's,
It's ivermectin.
I think that's the brand, there's
ivermectin.
like brand names
Okay.
versus.
but they did say it was that whatever mectin benzoate is the thing that
And,
they,
I mean, there is
Got it.
some mortality from using that too. The actual, I've heard, and I don't know if it's true or not, that they can impair the tree, that just that.
Well,
oh, the only thing they said was that in trees with lots of branches, it might not reach them all.
Right.
well, that's
But it
why
does say it would
she,
kill
as
them.
Shane explained, sometimes when we have to water the trees in, if it's
Oh, yeah.
dry, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
That's
blah.
why you do it in the springtime, because that's when all the sap is moving through. the tree,
Exactly.
Filling up the leaves with the,
But before it blooms. or
before it
something,
blooms,
yeah.
because you want that stuff in the leaves.
And you don't want
Right.
the pollinators to.
So anyway, so we were going to put together a short presentation for the select board meeting if we could,
Oh, great.
and use some of the guidance that Shane gave us.
Mhm.
I have to go back and tell him what we're doing
I
too.
think it's worth having him here.
Yeah, but I think,
He'd be probably,
I feel, I have to be honest with you, I feel kind of sensitive about going out to bid on this thing if we're going to use him as a resource for, I don't know.
yeah.
That's just me. I was a business guy for a long
We
time.
can get 3 quotes,
Well,
just because they're gonna ask, anything over a certain amount of money.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's,
but for the meeting, purposes of the meeting, can we
yeah,
just
really-
go with,
let's not turn it into.
Yeah, because we're not asking for them to sign any checks.
I mean,
or
Dave,
anything.
you need to be involved in all of this too. I mean, it's,
There are things to discuss
can't
in
be like-
conservation commission meetings and things not to discuss in conservation. So like, I don't think we want to get into
I
discussing
mean,
the bidding thing.
You-
That'll be something that you decide
Yeah,
later,
you're
how we
gonna
go
have to
about
be
making
the-
sure that it's the best deal.
it's
But
kind of your show. I mean,
you don't, yeah, let's just not
We
overcomplicate
can,
that.
we can cross that bridge when we get.
Yeah,
You can
right.
You can assess the availability of other people that can do it and can use, the app and whatever. And certainly we want to make sure we're getting.
I mean, Shane has always treated the town fairly when it comes to any kind of tree work.
he's great.
And this is this is like a public meeting that's being
Yeah,
broadcast on
Kathleen.
YouTube, and it's just not an appropriate place to discuss.
So it's
You
2:30.
don't want to.
I'm gonna make a motion, we adjourn the meeting, and then we can keep talking.
Yeah.
Second, Cynthia?
What?
You gonna second the
Oh,
motion?
sure, I'll second the motion.
Thank you. So you can shut down the video.
Um,
No video.